My name is Farhan. In this video, you will solve a question relevant to activity-based costing. This is question number 12 taken from 2023 Paper 2 exam. Zen Limited provides the following monthly information about their two products. So we have product A and product B, and you have been given the relevant material costs, labor costs, the production in units, and other information. The following overheads are absorbed using activity-based costing. Each batch requires a setup at the start of the production line. The total setup costs are £16,500 per month. Purchasing overheads are £4,600 per month, and other fixed production overheads are £22,000 per month. So the requirement is to find the total monthly production cost for product A. So on the right hand side of the screen are some workings. So we will break down every single information that we have. First of all, each batch requires a setup at the start of the production line. The total setup costs are £16,500 per month. What we have to do first is find the number of batches that we have for each product type. And how do we do that? We know that for product A, we are producing 3,000 units, and the number of units per batch that we produce are 150 units. So this is the information that you can see within these two rows of the table, production in units being 3,000 and the number of units per batch being 150. So on that basis, we can calculate the number of batches, which is to simply take the production volume of 3,000 units and then dividing it with 150 units per batch, which gives me the total number of batches for product A to be 20. And we do something similar for product B. We take the production volume in units, which is 2,500, and then we divide with the number of units per batch, which is 250, and we should get 10 batches for product B. So what we have to do is now find the total setup cost per batch. We know, based on the information given in the question, the total setup costs are £16,500 per month. So if I want to find the setup cost per batch, I take the total setup costs of £16,500 and then divide it with the number of batches, which are 20 plus 10 or 30 batches. So when we do that, we get £550 as the setup cost per batch. Okay, so having said that, if I want to find the total setup cost for product A, which is our main concern in this question, we take the setup cost per batch of £550 that we have just worked out, and then we multiply with the number of batches, which are 20, and then we get a total of £11,000 as the total setup cost for product A. Second, we want to find the purchasing overheads and fixed production overheads based on product A and product B requirements. What are the total production units? 3,000 for product A and 2,500 for product B, which gives us 5,500 units as a whole. Now, the question says that fixed production overheads are 22,000 per month in total, and these are absorbed on a per unit basis. So what I have to do in this case is find the fixed production overhead based on per unit basis. So we know the total fixed production overhead is given to us as £22,000, and then we divide it with the total production units for A and product B combined, which are 5,500 units. And on that basis, we get a fixed overhead of £4 per unit. So having calculated that, if I want to find the fixed production overhead that we are going to allocate to product A, we know that we are producing 3,000 units of product A, and the cost being £4 per unit, we just simply multiply 3,000 times 4, and you should get £12,000 as the total fixed production overhead that's allocated to product A. Now let's look into the purchasing overheads. Now the purchasing overheads on the requirements of the question are given at £4,600 per month. And this is directly relevant to the number of purchase orders. As you can see, for product A, it's 10, and for product B, it's 15. So total purchase orders, 10 plus 15, 25. What I want to do now is find the purchasing overhead per order. So what I have to do in this case is take the total purchasing overhead of £4,600 that we were given and then divide it with total purchase orders of 25, which gives us £184 as the overhead per order. So if I want to find the purchasing overhead for product A, we take the cost per order that we have just derived, which is £184, and then multiply it with 10, which is the number of purchase orders for product A. And on that basis, the purchasing overhead for product A is £1,840. So let's fill in the table for total monthly production cost for product A. Starting with the material costs, which have been already given to us, £7,400, which is what we have included here. Then we have included the labor costs of £2,750. Then the setup costs for product A is something that we have derived ourselves to be £11,000 based on all the calculations we have done. We also did something similar for the fixed production overhead, which was £12,000. As you can see, we have included here. You can choose to write fixed here as well. And then we have the purchasing overhead, which is £1,840 based on 10 orders that we have derived here. So 1,840, that's included here. So on that basis, the total monthly production cost of product A is simply adding everything here, and you should get £34,990 as the total monthly production cost for product A. You could use a similar way to calculate the total monthly cost for production B. Make sure you can get the correct answer and let me know down in the comment section below.